Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday, May 24, 2023, Town of Norfolk Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. In accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 20, notice is hereby given that the ZBA, or the Zoning Board of Appeals, will meet tonight, Wednesday, May 24, 2023, at 7 p.m. in Meeting Room 124, 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass. Additional public access to this meeting shall be done via Zoom online video conferencing. To join, follow the web link or call the dial-in number. I call the meeting to order. This evening, we have some special guests in the room. I don't know the gentleman's name, but we have 2 scouts here this evening, and I think they're working towards their badges. If they'd like to join us and step up and grab a microphone and just introduce themselves, we'd be happy to talk about what we do here at the ZBA, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Just say your name, that's all.
We might want to do it into the microphone.
You can sit down at the, I'll have you sit down, how's that? Easier if like.
Yeah,
You okay with that? Sit down.
Inside two, whatever.
Sure.
I just want to get an overview of what we're
We
doing.
have a limited time we can be here, but sure.
Well, they could sit and then leave. Yeah. Why don't you come in now? We're gonna make this,
This will be
we do a little
fun.
bit more for you, all right?
Get that badge.
Gonna make you earn it.
First of all, thank you for coming out this evening.
Earn it.
Just introduce yourself and why you're here. We'll be happy to help you.
You guys can just talk into the side.
I'm Carter Holmes. We are here for Community Service Merit Badge
Oh, fun.
from Troop 80.
Great, welcome.
I'm Sebastian Rizzo. I'm here for the same thing.
Great, well, welcome for coming. So,
Is Troop 80 here in Norfolk?
Yeah.
Very good.
fantastic. So this is the Zoning Board of Appeals, and Elaine's our secretary, Rich McCarthy's the town planner. I'm the chairman of the board, or the chairperson. Our vice chair is David Axberg, and Josephine's one of our members. And we're short a couple members right now, so that's why we're shifting the agenda around. But typically what we do here is we hear Zoning Board of Appeals from the zoning bylaw. It's a very thick book with a lot of laws in it. People want to do some land use things, an addition or a special use for their property. If they can't do it as a matter of right, the zoning bylaw book may allow them some relief. They apply with the building department, get their application in, and they come in here for a public hearing. So it's quasi judicial, like a courtroom. So we hear from people, we hear from the applicant, we hear from any neighbors, we take it under advisement, and we make a decision. And that decision is binding. So I'll open it up to the board to offer anything else to these gentlemen.
So, as a zoning board, kind of give you an idea, you guys live in houses, right, here in Norfolk? So if your mom and dad or whoever, your grandfather, grandmother, or somebody wants to put a garage up that's attached to their house, they may need to get a special permit because it's a little bit too close to the road, or it's a little bit too close to the property side, or something of that sort. So so we hear their reasons why they need to have the garage, and we make decisions off of that and off of the laws, and that's kind of the quick and dirty way. But then you have developers that are building big developments in Norfolk also, that we hear how they're going to do that and make sure that they adhere to the rules and the laws. And I have a question for you guys, though. Are you going to be marching on Monday? I think Memorial Day parade?
I don't know your plans, Carter.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I think the Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts will be marching.
Yeah, I think the Boy Scouts are.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if I see you, I'll wave. Afterwards, they used to have cheese, but they don't have cheese anymore. It's just ice cream, I think.
Even
Ice
better.
cream. Yeah, I know. It used to be ice cream and cheese, but, I'm dating myself now, I think.
Josephine, did you have anything for our guests? Did you want to offer anything for them?
Nice to see you. I did want my boys to join the Boy Scouts, but I'm glad to see Boy Scouts here. So,
Thank you.
I think this is a worthwhile. Nice to see you.
any community service, I think, is always helpful. I think everybody should have some form of community service actively in their lives all the way through, whether it's helping at a shelter, dog shelter, cat shelter, or something of that sort. That's still a community service. I think it's
Yeah.
very helpful.
I think
So
it's one-
I commend you for coming.
I agree. I think it's wonderful that you're involved in the Scouts. I think it's wonderful you came here. You get a little bit of an overview of what goes on in town, and that's important. And like David said, I think it's important to be aware of what's going on in your community and see what you can do to help. You know, we're all volunteers here, and we try to help the community, help our neighbors, and it's great that you folks come out and get an interest in it. It started at an early age, so congratulations. It's wonderful.
Do you have any questions for us?
No.
No? Not at all? Nothing? Anything in the handbook that says you need to ask these questions on your merit badge or anything? All right, I'd help you out.
Well, you're welcome to stay as long as or little as you like. We haven't started our public hearing yet on the other matters. That would be a little more interesting for you, but we're waiting for one more member to show up. So we're told he'll be here, we're just waiting for him to show up. So you're welcome to stick around and pay attention, and if you do have any questions, you'll just raise your hand, speak into the microphone, and I'll acknowledge you and ask you, to state your name and ask you a question.
Very good.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming. You don't have to stay there. You can go back into the gallery if you want. You can-
Thank you.
Welcome.
So in terms of, yes, we are, for the folks that are online, that are participating in tonight's meeting, we are waiting for one more member to arrive in order to be able for the board to open the public hearings for both.
We could do minutes or something.
Applicants?
Can we do minutes?
You can do the minutes.
There's only two of us that were
Because I
here.
wasn't here at the last one.
Oh, okay. I can tell you though, we could shift down to appointments because
Okay.
those are both, only need 3 members to,
Why don't we go ahead? So I
So I
see
think-
Owen's here.
yep, so we'll have,
Welcome, Owen.
Thank you.
See you.
Yeah, Owen Kelly.
It's always
with
a
the
pleasure.
Villages and Lakeland Hills. Yeah, hey.
so
Actually-
just a little bit of background on,
Actually, I have to recuse myself on the Lakeland Hills, right? So you might need another third one. I'm in a butter.
oh, that's right. All right, well, we could take care of one then.
Well, let's start with you.
Sure.
We'll start with the first one.
All right, so for the Villages, we were coming in last fall, we were talking about occupancy permit releases, and we made an adjustment to tie, a certain amount to a certain amount of completion of the roadway. I believe we have one left, from the number that we've allotted. But we wanted to come before you to request a modification of the permit. Since we have the bond and we just got an updated bond amount, and we've made, I think, pretty significant progress on the site.
Okay.
We were hopefully looking to adapt to a kind of a more traditional format, which would be to release occupancy permits except for the last one, and then kind of go through the normal bond process for that, since the town has a bond for the rest of the roadway.
Oh, and I wasn't at the last meeting, but I think, was a discussion on the bond reduction at the last meeting?
Yes, and I think we had a small reduction, but it was more about clarifying, what exactly, needed to be done from Beta's perspective and things like that.
And again, where are you in the project? How many units are complete? How many remaining?
So we have every house framed right now. We have all but one under contract. We have closed on all but one on Sumner Street. And so we're basically just working through the backstretch of Dupee, so the very, very back of the site right now.
And just to refresh my memory, how many total units in the project?
So there's a total of 32.
32, and all but one are under contract.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
Thank you. Oh,
how
it's
many-
nice seeing it come together.
How many have closed, if any?
So we have, about 12 left to close.
Okay, so approximately 20 have closed.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the amount that we released was 20, and then we would come back and see you. So I think technically 19 have closed. We've got one more.
Rich, have you been out there at all? Were you out there for the last, and what, do you have any insight on this? Or an opinion on it?
Sure, I do, actually. So when we, at the previous, last month's ZBA meeting, one of the things we discussed, and this came up in terms of, tying the occupancy to a percent number,
Right.
was a little bit more challenging to figure out exactly what that meant. And what satisfied those requirements. And so the thought was to have it really kind of mirror what we typically do with a subdivision, because there is a bond, so there is a bond in place for everything that's left, and clean up the conditions so that way, it's clear for everybody in terms of myself, building department, et cetera. And so the modification is just that what I drafted was, I could read it to you. Final occupancy shall not be released until all infrastructure for Sumner Dupie is 100% complete. The ZBA shall conduct a site visit and provide a written report to the ZBA. All infrastructure improvements are complete. So the idea is, and this kind of piggybacks off of Boyd's Crossing discussion from last month too, because it was, the question came up from Joe about, is the project done? And in fact, it's done. There's two things left for the
Yeah, it was the sign and the bench, I think.
sign and the bench. Now the bench is on. I don't know if the sign got in yet.
The sign is in our office.
It's in our office, so it's close.
Yeah.
But and part of that discussion was, well, how do we know when it's done, finished, complete? So that led to this thing to have a little bit clearer till we get up to that point, and then to make it clear, like, all right, we'll do a final closeout. So that's why we drafted the decision this way. So there's landscaping left, the top coat's left, but we wanted to have it structured so that it made sense. Like, don't put the top coat in Sumner when Dupie's still got work going on. Let's try to.
Right, I think our original reasoning for the 75% completion kind of thing was because when we were there at the last time, and I even saw you out on site.
Absolutely.
It wasn't anywhere near complete. I mean, any of it.
Yep.
And
Right.
so there was a reasoning why now I know the green's done for the most part. That's all in place. There is actually grass growing. And we did agree that you're going to have excavators going up and down. That's why that part of the street wasn't done. But we felt that it was at least a good spur to get you going, and that's what
Absolutely.
we were looking to do, I think.
Correct.
Now, we're down to, he's got the 12, I think it's 12 homes left or so.
Yeah, 12 homes left to close.
Yeah, and they're probably, some of them are waiting for an occupancy permit.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you hold off on one, I don't know. I mean, there's still quite a bit left to do, so I would kind of,
There was a bond in place, too.
yeah, there is a bond in place, I agree.
Yeah, I think in this case, and that's why it's a little bit different, because there is a bond for all the remaining work
Okay.
to be left. So it's not, the tie isn't just occupancy permits, there is
Okay.
money in place. So that's
Okay.
the difference.
Then I'd be okay with this now, because I mean, we were really trying to get the bulk of it,
Yep.
so that it didn't look like a bomb went off in the middle of Norfolk. I mean, that was really, and at that point, it was a little rough. Let's be realistic, it was a little rough then.
And we talked about coming back and doing a modification to another percentage or something like that. At this point, it seemed like the easiest step was to just do, hey, there's a bond in place, save the last house,
Yep.
make sure both of those are through. And
You okay with that?
Joseph, any questions?
No, I'm just listening on there, but I'm familiar with the project. and what
Okay.
transpired.
I'll open it up to anybody in the audience or anybody on Zoom, if any questions or comments.
I'm not seeing any.
Not seeing anybody.
No questions.
No?
All right, no questions? Did you want to try to make a motion on this?
Do we need to make a motion?
Well, yeah, you need to vote There's a substantial change.
I'll move that the board approve an insubstantial change to the applicant's request to modify condition G2B as modified by the applicant at the board meeting tonight, provided that the final occupancy permit shall not be issued until all infrastructure on Sumner and Dupree Street are 100%.
Okay.
And we'll all in favor
Do I
of
hear a
that?
second?
I'll second that.
All right, since I don't know if we're still formally in the Zoom world, but roll call vote or?
But you're okay, because there isn't anybody on Zoom that's going to vote on it. It's just you and the,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then,
Thank you.
you might want to stick around. We'll hopefully get another board member in and we can address the other one.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. That's great.
yeah.
So we just need one more vote on that?
You need one more vote on the next one, not only because I abut it, so I have to recuse
Okay.
myself from it.
Which, did you want to go through any of the town?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. Let's go through it.
Yeah, let's have town planner updates if you have anything for us.
Sure. So, quick recap on town meeting. I know David there, I saw him there. So town meeting did vote to make the changes to the schedule of use. So, that was sent off to the AG's office, which, again, we brought the sub-districts, the C1, B1, C4, C6, all into one table. And then, which was Article 26, 27 was to, 27 was to go in and remove duplications where we said, retail 5, 6 different ways. And the last one was the final, which was the cleanup. So all that got voted on by town meeting. So going forward, we'll all have one schedule of use that we're operating under. It won't be in the sub-districts, and I would imagine we'll be in much better shape going forward, that we don't have conflicting languages.
Yeah, that was a lot of work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
was.
So that was a big accomplishment to get that done at town meeting. And then the second thing that was voted at town meeting was to modify the sign bylaw to allow for internally illuminated signs. That was something the planning board had been working on with this Norfolk Small Business Association on. It's a little, in terms of the permitting, is a little bit more weighty in terms of right now to get to a different place, because there will be a special permit through the planning board. So the thought was, this could be a step to a future where hopefully it just becomes a permit and not have to go through the special permit process. But that was approved as well, so
That's a good first step.
it's a good first step.
Yep,
Yeah,
And I'm
I think
happy to
so.
see the Small Business Association.
They had
Yeah,
a good presentation.
yes.
It was actually, they had examples and everything, so it was good.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I was happy to have that. That was a very good accomplishment for a town meeting. Housing choice, the planning board did have a consultant come in on, I just saw. Anyway, let me gather my thoughts again. At the May 9th planning board meeting, the consultant came before the planning board, talked about housing choice, made some presented some recommendations, and is going to report back to the planning board at the June meeting. Essentially what and the presentation is in your folder if you want to go through it.
Is that for the MBTA?
Yeah, for the MBTA. The takeaway from the meeting on the 9th was, we have an area that we need to have within the half-mile radius of the train station. We also can have an area outside the train station that could make up the area. So what they essentially looked at was the C1D area, more or less called the Pondville area, which you all know, as the area to look at for outside of the center of town by the commuter rail. And then the other thing that they wanted to have the consultant take a look at is, within our inclusionary bylaw now, we have up to 20% affordable inclusionary. The guidance from the state is that in order to go beyond 10%, you have to have the town has to do an economic feasibility study to say that if you have 20%, you're not going to overburden the production of housing by going up to that number. They just published last week some guidance what that looks like, so they're going through it right now, and then they're gonna report back to the planning board in June. I looked at it, you're welcome, I'll send you the link and take a look at it. My first take was that it's really structured in an analysis of a project, looking at HOA fees, costs, et cetera.
Okay.
So to try to project that out over a district seems a little bit cumbersome and clunky, so I'm not sure how that's really going to work, but the consultant, Horsley and Witten, said that they have a meeting on Friday this week to try to figure this out, so stay tuned on that.
Okay.
But, yeah, so.
Thank you.
To be full compliance, we have to do this by December of 2024.
Okay.
So there's some time.
There's some
but-
time.
I
Yeah,
have a meeting on Friday, huh? Friday
Yeah.
before Memorial Day. That's always, that's one of those meetings you don't want to be a part of.
yeah, no, I think it was a bad choice.
Yeah, I think so too.
To have a meeting on Friday, but yeah, that's the case.
I'm wondering how many are gonna
Yeah,
show up there.
so, so anyway, that was the update on that, and the master plan's going along. We had a good sessions, and that continued on, so,
Great.
Good.
Thank you, Rich.
yeah.
Welcome, Joe.
Sorry, I was running late at work,
Yeah, we
unfortunately.
knew that.
Yeah, I got a message out to you.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yep.
Did anybody in the audience or on Zoom have any questions for Rich? None? Okay.
Did we hold up?
You're all part of the
We've
master
been jumping
plan
around, so welcome.
members,
Did that hold
right?
up somebody's hearing?
But you want to get there right now.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's okay.
Okay.
We're good.
So, the hour being 7:35, we have an application from Mr. Stephen Doherty. And if you want to read the notice of public hearing in,
Yes, I can do that.
this is, for 175.
175? Okay, got it.
He's been very patient. I think this is
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Doherty, I think it's his son's home.
Okay. Notice hereby given in accordance with Chapter 48 of the Massachusetts General Laws and any and all amendments thereto, that a public hearing will be held by the Zoning Board of Appeals in Room 124 at Norfolk
why I just
Municipal
take
Building
over.
on Wednesday, May 24, 2023, for the following application. This is at 7:01 PM. For a special permit pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48, Section 9, as amended in Sections 310, 6.4 of the Norfolk zoning bylaws to allow the alteration or enlargement of existing non-conforming structure. The property is located at 175 Street, Assessors Map 19, Block 69, Lot 6, in the R2 zoning district.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi.
Good evening. So thanks for being so patient.
No problem.
There's
I
behind you,
apologize.
there's the plan.
Yeah,
And if you want to walk us through it, that would be wonderful.
okay,
We'll help you along.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
all right, well,
If you want to point out to
not-
us the
not much
existing.
has changed on the house itself. It's still the same footprint.
Okay.
The only thing that the plan doesn't show is there's a septic system in the front. The one where it says septic tank in the back,
Yep.
that was actually like a cesspool.
Okay.
So that was when my son bought the house in 2014. Glasser, Hockman installed a Glasser designed system.
Yep.
With a tank. It's in the front, with the leaching fields in the front. The driveway is actually a little closer to the side. It's more this way because of the septic system
Okay.
going out towards the driveway.
So they don't have a well, they have town water?
It had a well, it still does have a well,
But that's
but
not,
it was required to be hooked up to the town water, so there's a town water service coming in from the street,
okay,
off of North Street,
okay.
that was all hooked up.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to put a septic system and a well on that lot.
Correct. That's why originally, from the 50s or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, the cesspool was where it was.
In the
The
back.
well was,
Out by the street?
no, the well was actually on the Wickland side property,
Okay.
over that way, so it wasn't really far from the cesspool.
Yeah,
And it wasn't a really deep well,
okay,
so the well is still there irrigation.
Sure.
But no, domestic use. And the cesspool itself was caved in and filled in.
Okay.
And abandoned for the new system in the front.
Okay.
And the proposal is just to build up on the existing footprint?
Right. The design is to come straight up, not off sides or anything.
Yep.
From the original foundation. And the architect has it all,
So what's going to be on the second floor mostly, just for?
You'll have
One of the bedrooms in the first floor
Yep.
is being deleted
Yeah, if you could pull it up.
for one in the second floor, because it's a two-bedroom house.
Okay.
It's zoned for two-bedroom, and the septic system's designed for two-bedroom.
Okay.
So the upstairs is going to be a master bedroom.
Okay.
The,
Go right ahead.
okay, so this side of the house right now is the master bedroom,
Yep.
and this over here, it's a small,
Take it over.
but that was the second bedroom,
Okay.
right? So that's being abandoned as a bedroom.
I'll stop
It's just
sharing.
it's just like a den.
Like a family, it says family room here, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's not, it's only 10 by 10.
Okay.
Okay.
So the master bedroom will be on the second with a office as well up there.
Through that, okay.
And a, walk-in closet and a second, the bathroom
Okay.
will be added.
Lane's gonna pull the plan up just so you can,
Okay. great.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
Yep. That's what I was just looking at.
So this is the existing master right now, and that, when it comes back, will be the den,
Okay.
which is the second bedroom as it sits. So they're basically bumping up this here. This isn't being.
So the bottom
Sorry.
picture is what's going to be the new,
This is the basement.
oh, that's the basement, okay.
That's the basement. That there's an elevation of, say like right here.
Yep,
This den here, it'll still only be first floor.
okay.
The second floor will go straight up and then over this side here. So basically,
Gotcha,
that's the addition to the, upstairs.
okay.
The deck is staying the same.
So it's legally has to stay a two-family, correct?
Correct.
I mean, a
because
two-bedroom.
It's a two-bedroom
Yep.
because of the zone, plot, the size, the lot size.
Yep,
And the septic system was designed,
for the
the
two-bedroom.
town required the design as only a two-bedroom septic system.
Yep.
So that's why they have to abandon the existing
Gotcha.
bedroom to be able to create a second bedroom.
And all the expansion is above existing.
It's all above, right off the
Yeah.
walls, going straight up.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing going out, even hanging over, the existing.
Anything from the board? Any questions?
How
So-
tall, I was gonna say how tall everything is.
I think I read something, it's like 30,
What's that?
The height?
Yeah, the height, I'm sorry, the height.
2811.
Okay, good.
That's what that's on there, on the plan,
It's on the
very
plan, I
top
thought.
there.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from here.
Yep.
And Rich, you indicated we were waiting for another plan to come in on this one, I believe?
They wanted a updated, what you saw originally
Yep.
was like from 1951.
Oh, plot plan for something.
Right, mortgage plot plan.
The new is gonna
What-
look like it's gonna be.
What,
It's actually not dormer.
when you talked to my son before he went on
The
vacation,
two full.
they wanted an updated one.
Okay.
So he's getting one from Glasser, who designed the septic system, which is the most up-to-date, because nothing's been done since then.
Yep.
Okay,
So he's in the process of getting that.
great. So hopefully he'll have that by the June 21st meeting.
Yeah, because the only thing it'll show different is it'll show the septic system,
Okay.
because structurally, nothing else has changed.
Right.
So on the second floor, where you have the original master bedroom and the living room.
On
and
the
all
first
that,
floor?
On the first floor?
Yeah.
You have a vestibule and a den. There's nothing going above them, correct? It's just the main portion of the house that's getting the uplift?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
If you
so
look at
this
the
is-
elevation
If you
of
look
the-
at this here.
Yep, that's the
This is the
basement.
basement,
Okay,
okay? And this is the den,
yep,
so it's basically going, everything there. Nothing in,
Okay.
that's not going up, that's just the
Except the
front airlock,
right,
okay? So the rest of that is going straight up.
okay, gotcha. On the elevation up above, it looks good. That looks like what you just said,
Right.
that den, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because, see, like in the, you can see on this here, you can see, that's the front of the house.
Yep,
That's the jot, right now,
yep,
that's the existing house, it jots in and then goes over. And that's the walk-in closet that's in that space there.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I had a question about what was the original nonconformity?
Good question.
Non-conformity probably was the
Setback.
setback.
yeah, I think it's all the setbacks, it's tiny.
Because the lot's small.
Very small lot, okay,
Yeah.
right.
And
If you want to, just for, Elaine, if you want to put up the mortgage plot plan, just so you can take a look at just get a sense for the mortgage plot
Right,
plan.
right.
Plus the
Not
front,
even a quarter of an acre either. Right. I think just the whole lot itself.
the whole lot is
not-
underside by the setback.
Right.
So if you could see the,
Yeah, you're within 22 feet of the property lines and stuff. It's
Right.
all non-conforming.
So sides, front, and back?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole thing.
Okay.
But because
Yeah,
it's not
probably-
changing the footprint.
No, I thought clear, it's not, yeah,
That's-
not changing.
That's a huge,
Second?
huge
And
plus
probably
on your
the entire
side for
lot.
us.
right, not changing the
Yeah,
footprint.
the
not
whole thing
changing
like
the
that,
wall.
That's what we understood, you know, there's no room to really do anything else.
Right.
so in terms of discussion with Stephen via email, because he's out of the country right now, but, so he is going to get
Yeah.
Mr. Glasser to prepare the site plan. The septic system as-built that Glasser prepared had setbacks, but it didn't have the property line setbacks on it, which is fine, that's for that purpose, but for this, he'll just update that plan, put the setbacks on it, and then what I suggested is that, but what I'm recommending is that you continue it till next
Yeah.
meeting.
Right.
Get that plan,
Get the plan.
then I can prepare a decision for you
And we
for
can-
that meeting,
Okay.
and then you can vote
Sure,
that night, and then,
Vote it that evening and be done with it.
yeah.
yes.
Were there any questions from the board?
No, that was my only one.
Anybody from the audience or anybody on Zoom have any questions on this?
Anybody raising a hand? Raise a hand, no?
Don't see anybody yet.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion.
To continue?
It's June 21st?
Yes.
Next meeting, June 21st, correct.
Okay, at what time?
Could do it for the same time if you want.
Okay, yeah, if I don't let you down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 7 o'clock, 7:01?
7:01 is good.
Okay, so I make a motion that we continue the hearing for 175 North Street to allow the alteration or enlargement of an existing non-conforming structure to June 21st at 7:01 PM. Need a second?
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you for coming
Have a
in.
good Memorial Day.
Thank you.
You
You
too.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ice cream and donuts at the Federated Church after the parade. The Boy Scouts are going to be there.
Excellent.
Us too.
I vote for cheese, but I haven't won for the last couple of years, so.
Do we
It was always hard cheddar. I don't know.
have
It was
another
good.
hearing?
Yes.
Okay,
One more.
is that audience here?
So they're on Zoom.
Okay.
Okay, the hour being 7:46.
Yeah.
We had a prior appointment scheduled for 175 North Street. I'm sorry.
No,
Five
Lake
Lake
Shore
Shore
Shore,
Drive.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
85 Lakeshore, thank you.
I'll be all right.
Okay. All right, are we ready?
Go right ahead.
Okay, notice hereby given in accordance with Chapter 48 of the Massachusetts General Laws, a public hearing will be held by the Zoning Board of Appeals in Room 124 on May 24th, 2023, John Beveridge at 7:05 PM for one special permit pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 9 is amended, and Section 310, 6.4A,
Site plan up first.
2 of the Norfolk zoning bylaws to allow the alteration or enlargement of an existing non-conforming structure which does not violate the setback, coverage, or height requirements of Section 310-51B, does not violate those requirements to a greater extent than the original structure, and one variance pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 10 is amended, and Section 310-5.1B to allow the construction of an attached garage, which will not violate the front setback requirement of 50 feet. Property is located at 5 Lakeshore Drive, Assessors Map 5, Block 28, Lot 9, in the R2 zoning district.
Thank you. Is the applicant on Zoom?
Welcome.
Welcome. Please identify yourself. We're happy to hear from you.
John Beveridge, 5 Lakeshore Drive.
Welcome, John. Walk us through your proposal, please.
I'm sorry?
Walk us through your request, please.
Well, thank you for seeing us again. We were here a couple of years ago, a similar request. Long story short, we own 3 lots. Each lot individually would require a variance or special request with the town to grant any kind of structure being built. Being that we have 3 structures, or 3 lots, we still need a variance to be able to kind of expand in any direction the way the setback requirements are. We were granted a variance previously, but when we submitted the plans to get it actually built, it was just out of our budget. So we scaled back, and scaling back the project actually would probably fit better with the neighborhood environment, to a 2-car garage, single floor addition on the adjacent side of the house with just a single story addition instead of a 2-story addition. And the funny thing is we have to move the septic on that side of the house, which is why we wanted to do the garage on the other side of the house.
Right.
But being that the house was built, I believe, in 1963, it's probably a better idea to upgrade the septic now while we have it in our budget. Move the septic, upgrade it, and then do the addition on that side of the house. And, sorry, a cat just jumped on the couch. Hi, Chloe.
Oh, there he is.
Welcome, Chloe.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know, no photos.
Substantial, yes, absolutely.
So the relief you're seeking is, you're asking for a variance primarily for the 50-foot setback, and I think you indicated that if you went in any direction, you'd be in violation of the 50-foot setback. Is that?
Well, absolutely. Presently, I think we are, the front setback, and since we're on a corner lot, it's a 50-foot setback for the front and the right side of our house, since we're on the corner. And presently, I think we're at 49 or 47 feet, so we're already in violation for our house now. We're at 26 feet to the right side of the house, so if I wanted to build a 1-foot addition, I'd be good, but I really don't know what you could do with that. And the only area we can build is to the left side of the house, but it's such a weird, and I think you have the plans with you.
We do.
Where it's
We do.
triangle
Yeah.
area where we're allowed to build an addition is right over our septic. So the only other viable option is to scale back to make it a more affordable addition, is to, I mean, I think they quoted 22 to 33,000 to move the septic and then build the addition with the 2-car garage and single floor addition on the left side of our house.
Gotcha.
And that variance request is much smaller than what we had for the previous addition that you granted us before. Since we're 25 feet to the right side of our house, you granted us a
It's a couple feet, right?
14-foot garage.
Right, it was very tight.
Yeah, it was
It
very.
was very tight, if I remember correctly.
Correct. So if we move to the left and move the septic, then it's, I think, a 10-foot variance request from the front, and then a maybe 5-foot variance to the side street, because it still violates the 50 feet of that corner area.
And John, the driveway would go out to Lakeshore Drive? Is that where your driveway would?
I'm not really sure where, I think it would still be on Lakeshore Drive, but we would actually have the driveway change from where the present location is. I think it would still come off of Lakeshore.
Right.
But it's right on the corner of where River Road would be. So it's right on the cusp of
Okay.
Lakeshore and River.
So it'll be, no matter what, it'll be closer to, it'll be, the driveway will probably go onto Lakeshore, right towards
Correct.
River Road. And
Correct.
it's, I don't know if you folks have been out there, it's just it is a very unique lot.
Oh, yeah, I know the
It's
front.
totally.
Well, actually, Lakeshore and River Road, I think it's on the plans that I submitted to you. We have like over 500 square feet of pavement on our property from when they curved the road.
Correct. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess when this house was originally built, Lakeshore actually had a hard corner on the river at a couple points, and then eventually the town decided to curve the road and took part of the property of these 3 lots.
Okay. I'll open it up to the board if there's any questions for the applicant.
Here's some dimensional clarifications, right? So, this, we're gonna, let's say he needs a special permit, right?
The variance.
You need the variance.
Okay,
So the
Setback
special,
requirement.
so the special permit, we put it in there because Mr. Beveridge was working to get the architectural plans, because the previous application had the special permit.
right,
So just to cover his basis in order to hold the hearing
Okay.
tonight, we put it in there.
okay.
Okay.
But having received the architectural plans, and we spoke to actually Mr. Bullock yesterday, there is not the need for the special permit, it's just the variance
Okay,
to accomplish what they're trying to do.
okay.
Addition.
Actually, to be fair, since if the addition goes through, you guys approve us, we're allowed to go forward. I do think that a special permit for the front pre-existing non-conforming porch would need to have a special permit so we can extend that to allow for a new front entrance for the house. So I don't know if that special permit can still stand.
Is that a variance or a special permit then?
I think the special permit was because it was a pre-existing non-conform structure.
Right, I understand that. but I'm
Where's
saying, but-
the,
And what are you gonna do, John? What are you gonna do with the porch area? What might you
We
do?
would extend it so we could change the front location since the addition, since the whole driveway location and everything would change.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? So we would move the front door closer to where the driveway side would be and enter the home through a new front door. So the front porch would have to
It
be
would still be
enlarged.
within, it would still be within the same setback that exists
Yeah,
now?
it's,
Of the existing structure, yeah, so. it
Yeah, so
wouldn't
the
go-
setback wouldn't change.
the setback's not changing at
He's just
all.
moving the
Right.
He's
porch.
just moving the porch.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
so then we'll,
Either moving it or extending it, you're gonna leave
Not
this,
beyond the existing structure format.
yeah.
okay. Well, since we already have advertised for a special permit, we can just keep it and address it within the permit then.
Okay. But at the end, the porch is gonna just be extended longer?
Yep.
Okay.
So the deck that's there now,
Right,
it's
Alright,
not
yeah,
gonna
so-
get any further than that.
Right.
It's up there, so it's just gonna
No
slide
further
down
than
the
the
house.
existing structure.
oh, yeah, right, so,
Yeah.
yeah, so its setback doesn't get
Yeah,
any
it
worse.
doesn't
Okay,
change
fine,
anymore.
got it, understood.
Okay.
Do you want to, it's on the architectural plans, correct, John? Already?
Actually, I don't think
I
it
don't
is.
think it is.
No?
No, I don't think it is.
All right,
It's only on the plot plan.
all right.
It
I was
is
gonna
from
say
the
show it, but
previous.
it's not.
Yeah,
But I don't know why.
now I
they
can
didn't add
envision it,
this.
what he's talking about.
It is on the architectural.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's coming right off the kitchen. There's a deck coming off the kitchen, right?
Yeah, we'll
No,
pull,
negative, no, the deck that's the back deck.
That's the back deck?
Back of the house. There's, I don't think there's anything on this, I don't know why they didn't add that to this plan, but
Okay. That's the back
He's
deck.
referring to the porch, not the deck.
Oh, I
Right,
see.
right.
correct.
Yeah, he's just, so on the architectural plan, they have a front door here going into the living room.
Baby, can you,
Is the back
But I
deck,
think he's talking about moving it that
the
way.
back deck's setback
you
considered
grab me
here?
the plan for the
I don't know.
I don't see it
pre-existing
in the plot plan that you have a back
And
deck.
everything,
No,
this is all
it's-
at the
existing.
bottom.
the deck,
The deck may move.
No, the deck may not. It's the front door you're talking about, right?
1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the front door, but the back deck, right,
Where are you gonna move the front door to?
close to the garage, you said?
Then it's in a bedroom.
Is that it right there, the garage? At the back?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Left on the side.
All right, I don't know if this will help or not. I'm trying to figure out how to point it to the, but
Oh, jeez.
this is how
Oh, that's
the
the
house
deck.
is now.
Okay,
Yep, that's how it is now.
okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so my question is the setback, is the deck supposed to?
So where would you move it to on the existing
where-
building?
Yet to be determined. We wanted to make sure we could get approved for the variance to build the addition before we actually do the as-built plans.
Is the
Does
existing
that
deck
mean,
included in the setback?
So I'm gonna tell you this, if we approve this, we're approving a garage with a master bedroom suite above it. That's what
Correct.
we're approving in the
Yes.
non-compliance. That's what we're giving you. You're moving the stairs, you should do that at the same time. So
we're not
that,
moving the stairs, we're moving the entrance. If
well,
you allow us to.
there's stairs and everything there, so
It's just
you,
in the front off the porch. We're not moving the stairs or anything like that, just the entrance into the house. I'm
like how far? Like 2 feet, 7 feet? The whole front of the building? Where? Because the plan, the architectural plan that you've given us shows a bay window and then a bedroom. So it doesn't look like you can move that door very far.
Doesn't look like you have any space to move it.
So our concern is all of a sudden you move it over to like toward the chimney or something and you're going around. Now that's a totally different kind of a deck or front porch. Or are you going more toward the garage? Oh, we lost.
We lost you.
We lost your voice.
We can't hear you. Hold on.
All right, you should be back.
Okay. Try
Can you
again,
hear me?
Troy.
Yep, I can hear you
Yes,
now.
Ken.
Okay, no, we'd be moving it more towards the new garage, because that'd be the new entrance to the house. So that chimney side driveway is gone. We'll be entering through the driveway on the new garage side. So we'd want to shift the entrance from the house from the old driveway towards the new driveway,
I,
which to the new master suite bedroom.
right, I understand what you're saying.
So that'll go from here
So-
to here?
So would it still be on the existing, or would it be on the new part of the,
On the addition?
on the new addition?
Would the entrance be on the?
No, it'd be on the existing part of the house.
Okay.
It would be on, it would be on the existing part of the,
Correct.
now you have a bedroom that's close to the new addition, according to this architectural plan. So I don't see how your door can change by maybe 2 feet. I
I mean, I
don't,
see your point, because, the car's coming this way.
Yeah.
So I see your point, you want to move the entrance.
unless you're going into a bedroom.
I'm not following what you're saying.
So, right now.
So-
Go ahead.
You're not here, so you can't see. But on the architectural plan that you sent us,
Can he see us touching
Yep.
the screen?
you have,
Yeah, if you want to go
you
up
have a,
Hopefully he'll see.
Yeah, he'll see if you touch if you point towards the screen.
I am showing him, I am showing him the deck.
Okay, there.
you've got this.
Hold on, let me see.
He's
Can you see me now?
He's looking back.
Can you see me
I
now?
can see you. I just got to zoom in so
So
I
you
can
have,
see
this is your front door now.
you. Correct.
So where are you thinking you're gonna move it to? Because this is a bedroom, there's only a small window here, and you have a bay window here.
Right, we'd eliminate the window, and that would become the new front door.
So you're only talking about like.
Yeah, not far.
Like a 5-foot move.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Then, and you're not looking to come more into, you're not making this further away from the house. You're not making a bigger front door.
No, just
Just
right to
sliding
left.
it. All right.
Right to left.
You're good. All right.
Okay.
Okay, get it, thank you.
And then, depending, you have to look in the bylaw,
Window?
there's, you can have the
Well, he
front,
might put another window on the other side.
there is, you can be in the setback, it's just a limitation to how big it is. I think
It's a
it's
stoop.
30.
It's for a stoop, right?
Yeah, I think it's like, let me look in the,
It's on an embankment, he's still gonna have to.
it's 35 square feet, I
I
want to
forget.
say.
I forget.
So you're talking about a stoop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stoop.
Yeah. I think he's fine to do what he's doing.
He may not need the special permit.
You may
That's
not
fine.
need the special permit for for that front porch thing, because you are allowed a stoop to your front house, to your front door. And I think it's 35 square feet, if I
think it's
remember
35
correctly.
too. Like, oh.
So as long as it's a 35 square foot, you don't need a special permit for it. You can slide it down that however you want. If you leave the existing and just make it bigger, you might need a variance to do that, or a special permit to do
Special permit if it
that.
doesn't-
But if you tear the old one down and just kind of make it the same, there's a way you can do it without a special permit,
Excellent.
okay? And Bob Bullock would know how to do that for you, just to let you get it done.
But for his purposes,
But for your purposes,
we may want to address a special permit.
we may want to give you a special permit just to say,
Right.
yeah, you can do it as long as you're not changing the setback.
We need a plan to issue that special permit though for that, right?
He does have a,
He has a plan.
Oh, I mean, showing the stoop or not, I don't know. Showing the new entrance, the new part of the deck, the new porch, I don't know.
Do we have to have a plan to go off the testimony? I mean,
so here's what I would just pull back the big picture.
Yeah.
So John, the path is we're open the hearing tonight, taking testimony. The board will continue it to the June meeting, and then I'll have to draft a decision for them to consider,
Right,
for
yeah.
voting on it.
we'll vote, we
So-
need to vote that evening on it.
So we have time between now and then to double check on the stoop, okay? If it needs to be on the plan or not.
Okay.
Right. Because I'm just saying that, I think he's extending the deck, is what he's saying. He's gonna make it longer?
No,
You're
he's
making-
not extending
He's
it.
just moving it.
Just moving it,
shifting it.
sliding it.
Okay.
He's just
shifting
sliding it down.
So is that true, John? You're moving the deck that's in the front of the
No,
house?
it's not a
The
deck.
porch?
Porch.
No, we would extend the deck.
Deck.
Okay.
Okay.
So, like I said, I think there's a way you can do it without a special permit. You can talk to Bob Bullock about that. If we approve your whole addition thing and you want to then move your thing, we can also grant you a special permit tonight and give you criteria to how far you can move it. And as long as you stay within that, you could go ahead with that. But
Right.
I would almost suggest that you get your variance so that we can get you your garage and your room, and then try and figure out what to do with your front door later.
Rich, repeat your suggestion you were suggesting we continue the hearing to the next meeting.
Yeah, I'm suggesting, because I don't have a decision for you to vote on
We could
tonight.
deliberate- We could deliberate that night.
Yeah.
But he should
Clo-
work out
close
with
it out.
she should know though if he needs to put that porch or that front porch, whatever it's
Great,
gonna look
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Let's get it on a plan.
So if you could get us a plan before the June 21st meeting as to where you want that new front door to go, we can give you all of it at one time.
Right, we can vote on the variance, we can vote on the special permit, and now we know where the front entrance would be.
And
I understand what you're saying, but if I may,
Sure.
this is prime building season. So if I wait for contractors for a month,
Yeah.
they're gonna get bid out. And then it's gonna postpone my job. If you go ahead with the variance now, it'll at least let construction start. I can come back next, if you grant, so say you grant the variance, to where I can at least get the foundation, septic, and all that getting going, because I know I'm approved with the town of Norfolk. And then come back and we can address those stoop, front porch area
I hear
by
you.
next month, while
I
things
hear
are
you.
actually
Yeah,
moving forward.
a bit, yeah.
I hear you. All right, we'll have to deliberate over this.
You're comfortable with that then? If we
You're okay with that?
I'm fine with that. I don't want to actually give any more contractors deposits or more cash for work that's not going to be done.
I hear you. What we're trying to do was avoid you a step, so.
But I see the time delay.
But we can understand your time restraints at this point.
Correct.
So
Okay.
we still need to give him a special permit just to be able to alter this.
Yes.
Okay, right, so he's getting a special permit and variance tonight if
Yep.
if we go that route.
So let's just talk this through sequentially though. So they have to prepare the written decision, have them vote it. They don't have it tonight, so.
That's fine. I understand that. But and as long as like the variance and the addition is approved, I can have the perk test done on the septic to have that moved. I can have a contractor scheduled to come excavate and do where the foundation is going to go.
Would you
Which is
like
all
us-
going to take time.
Would you like us to take a straw vote this evening so you know how the board feels and then wait till the June 21st? Is that what you're
That
asking
would
for?
be amazing.
Oh, wow, yes.
So
We could do that.
You could do a straw vote if you'd like. It's non-binding, obviously, but you know, here's the votes, and then you feel comfortable with doing what you want to do. And then we come back on June 21st, wrap it all up, have the decision, have the formal vote, and then you have your formal decision and your relief.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
so what we could do, like I say, is do a straw vote to say, well, to be able to alter this.
Yes.
He needs a special permit,
Right,
and to be able to do the garage,
project, right.
It would be a variance.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would be in favor of both of those.
Yeah, me too.
Josephine, you're in favor? And I would support it also, John. So-
We're 100% behind you, John.
Right.
Yes.
So we intend, at our next hearing, to continue the deliberations, or to continue the hearing till then, have the deliberations just for detail, have a decision that would be prepared prior to, that we may edit that night, but in essence, that would be what we're talking about. A special permit and the variance relief that you're looking for.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
So in reality, what we're saying is, we've approved this without anything binding because we don't have anything in front of us to sign or make it all legal. But on the 21st, we'll be able to do that.
Right.
Because we'll
That's
have it all,
fantastic.
okay?
Because then it'll be a documented decision that'll probably be signed that evening.
Right.
Then there's that whole period of, just in case there's a butter who comes after the decision, they have
Yeah,
how
there is
long
a-
after that?
There is a 20-day appeal period, you recall, so.
Right.
Yep.
So
So
like-
the only downside of a straw vote and building off of a straw vote is that if an abutter comes forward and has some kind of a grievance, then we have to hear that, so.
Is there an abutter, or is anybody else in the room or on Zoom that would like to speak to us?
There's an
Yep,
abutter.
Please,
there we go.
Okay.
identify yourself, go right ahead, thank you.
Hi, thank you. My name's Elizabeth Morrison, and I live directly around that curve from Lake Shore to River Road, and I am in favor of this proposal, and I was in favor of the previous proposal that would have had more of a direct impact on our property abutting the beverages. So I just wanted to speak on behalf of the beverage family, and I think this is a great proposal that will add a lot of value to the neighborhood, and they obviously follow all the rules and jump through all the hoops, and I'm definitely in favor.
Thank you.
What's your address again?
It's 95 River Road.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else on Zoom or in the room that would like to have a question or a comment on this?
Boy Scouts, do you have any questions? Are you still awake? Just kidding. It's almost past my bedtime, so.
So why don't we have entertain a motion to continue to the next meeting, hearing date,
Yes, we do that.
please?
1 second. Make a motion that we continue the hearing for John Beveridge. Is that right here, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, to June 21st at 7:05 PM.
What?
For the special permit for the alteration or enlargement of an existing non-conforming structure and the variance for those requirements, for the variance of that new existing extension and second floor.
Is there a second?
No.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
It's not a second floor. It'd just be a garage
Oh, I
with
see.
the existing basement and then a single floor.
Oh, I see. Yes, that's right, because
It's a garage under.
it's a garage under, right? Okay,
Correct.
yes,
I
right.
thought he didn't want to
Okay,
have it.
so thank you for correcting me on that.
That's your next project, John.
He's gonna hold his own
So
vote.
normally what we do is we do a motion, then a second, and then discussion. So we're okay to do the second, John? Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
Do you want me to fix the motion?
No, well, yeah, you can fix the motion
Go right
to
ahead.
be in the garage.
So corrected motion, I move that we continue the hearing for John Beveridge to 7:05 PM on June 21st for his special permit for the alteration or enlargement of an existing non-conforming structure and for his variance for the new garage structure.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Elizabeth, thank you.
John, I hope it all works out for you, because that will be a big
Yeah.
benefit to that neighborhood, I
Been
think.
a long haul for you, John.
It's a nice plan, too. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks. Yes, appreciate it.
So it's 30 square feet, not 35.
Okay.
Oh, you found, okay.
Yeah.
Define, that's all.
So now that,
Does that include the stairs, or is that just the landing?
So it lists
I think that if you had just a door.
steps, porches,
Yeah.
projections.
Yeah.
So any projection coming off the
Right.
front has to be within
Yeah.
that 30 square.
good night, thank you.
And
Thank
that-
you.
and that
Good
takes-
luck.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And that takes the.
Maybe I'll see you Monday taking that big walk, you know.
All right, so I think we'll continue our appointments with Owen Kelly.
Yeah. And that whole stoop thing that's mostly if you have a structure, just enough to get into the front door, basically the 30
Makes
square
sense.
feet, right?
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Owen Kelly with Lakeland Hills LLC. So we're here before the board today to talk about the house plans in the subdivision. There was a couple iterations of this subdivision that went through. Initially, there was a set of house plan approved, and then as a volume 2, the board approved a couple landscaping changes as well as some new house plans. So those plans were signed, but there was never a modification to the permit. So in talking to Rich about it, it seemed like the best thing to do to come and confirm the board's previous decision to incorporate the new plans. The subdivision, it prompted a discussion. The subdivision contains a lot of single-family, kind of traditional lots, as opposed to, some of the more condominium-style houses we've done in Boyd's and the villages. Typically with those, we find a lot more buyer preference for house styles of the single-family homes. So while it definitely makes sense to maintain a architectural homogeny to everything, so everything blends together. So I'm not building like a contemporary home here and a New England style home there. We were looking for a little leeway in, varying the home designs for the homeowners, as they come. The first question is just to confirm that the house plans the board previously approved on the plan, volume 2 set, are all set to build. We have a permit pending with one of those in place. And then 2, just to talk about going forward, what kind of control the board would like over the single-family house plans.
Okay, so on the first part, I don't think it's, I'll ask the board what their opinion is. I don't think there's any need for us to go back and look at those plans. We've already approved them. So I think that's
Yep.
fine and
Yep.
easy. And the second point is, my question would be, to what extent, you're gonna have 6 new house designs, or are they just kind of modifications to the ones you previously presented?
It's along the lines of modifications to ones previously presented, right? So, for instance, we may do a shed dormer instead of a gabled dormer, or we may, a lot of our plans are variations on the same, like a colonial house might have a couple variations to it, like does the garage set back, does it set forward, things like that. So, but usually, all the plans that we're putting together are the same architectural
So
style.
they're the same type of houses with,
Yeah.
so you're not going from a colonial to a contemporary.
Exactly.
You might make a change to the colonial, but it'd still be a colonial.
Exactly.
Or whatever it was.
Exactly. They're all in keeping with the house styles that we submitted previously.
I think we did this for similar something or other
Tommy DePlacido?
for Tommy, when we gave him some freedoms to do
Because he said that, he said people
decks or
come in.
porches or a
you wanna-
dormer
you wanna
or
vary it
something
a
of
little
that
bit
sort,
For
yeah.
whatever reasons, or the customer wants it that
Correct.
way. But he wasn't changing if it was a colonial or a cape, that's what it was gonna be,
Correct,
but it might be a slightly different
Yep.
plan.
yep. And I think that's kind of what
That's
you're
it.
looking for.
Just so
right?
that way, it doesn't turn into, and I think the building inspector has a pretty good, if I were to put something forward that was out of spec, he would
Yeah,
raise
you can't
question.
change the foundation. You can't change the foundation sizes.
Well, right, we're going to be in the same square footage, the
Yep.
living space square footage from what's been approved.
Yep.
But you could have a little bump out here and there or something, couldn't you?
Yeah, so we might remove a bump out here and move a bump out there, that kind of thing. But still, again, we've set, typically we've done square footage amounts, we're not, if 3,000 square foot houses are approved, we're not doing 4,000 square foot houses suddenly.
Excuse me, is this in an effort to accommodate the demands of the market?
Yeah,
Are
exactly.
you finding people requesting more or wanting to modify things, or?
So we're just getting started with the process over there, but with the single-family homes on individual lots, we find that, new construction, people are looking for some of their own uniqueness to it, and again, that stays within the style, but they don't want the same cookie cutter houses for each one, so we try to accommodate that.
And I think you're right, I think we had this come up with Tom DePlacido.
We did, I think, because it had something to do with porches and dormers and
Similar,
facing the garage versus not facing the
Yeah.
garage, or how the garage faced versus not facing.
right.
Yeah, the original approval for the Enclave, it had little patios.
Yes.
Deck area there. And people, as you started to market them, people came in, they wanted to be able to have maybe a screened-in porch, that
Right,
kind
right.
of thing.
That's what I remember with Tom, the screened-in
So
porches.
that was something they wanted to do.
But there was something about the garage, the way that the garage rotated, and a
Right.
dormer or something of that too.
Face
He
the
was-
front, the side, like his
Correct.
does, right,
Yeah.
things like that.
He wanted some freedom to be able to do that, and I
Yeah.
think that's what there's.
Yeah, that's a really good example. Our third lot in is going to require a side-loading garage based on how the septics and things go. So we're going to take the same house plan, but, modify it to accommodate a drive-under three-car side-loading
So
garage.
some of the changes aren't just because of requests from potential customers, it's because of, like you say, there's a change in,
Some of them are conformist to the lot, the
Right.
requirements of the lots, yeah.
I'm allowed to discuss, right?
Sure.
I just can't vote?
Sure.
All right, I'll be quiet then.
Would this apply also to the duplexes as well?
I'm not necessarily looking for that, because I understand that those, usually have the same style to them. So right now, I'm not looking for kind of any change to those.
Oh, yeah, as a homeowner, I could do that.
Right.
So I'd be happy for this to be specific to the single families, and if I had a new version of the duplexes, that I would come back to the board about that.
George, do you have any more questions?
not any more questions, no.
Almost like.
All right.
So I did draft a decision, but I think it needs a little wordsmithing in terms of, because, well, one, based on Joseph, I don't think it's clear that it applies to single families. Although that was the intent of doing this.
Right.
And then secondly, it sounds like there's some openness to have maybe identify as architectural style. It doesn't necessarily have to come back to the board as long as within architectural style.
Right.
In terms of the homes.
Typically, we've used the wording consistent, architecturally consistent with previously approved houses.
Yeah. But it could be the garage will be entering from the side versus the front.
Yeah.
But it's still a cape. Or
Right,
a-
right. We're not going to have a suddenly mid-century houses there without
Right.
coming back to the board.
We're not going, 18th century Georgian versus a cape.
Right. So we just have to have you wordsmith it on your motion, if you're okay to do that tonight?
So I could use a little help with the motion. How you want me to, how many want
Give me an A
to?
for effort, Joe, for trying this one.
Yeah, I know, I should prepare better anyway, but how would you want me to word the motion? And,
If you look at the language that I submitted, I think maybe the only thing that I might have missed is not saying specific to the single families, though that was the point of the request.
Take a look at the, you pull up his email, we have Owen's
Yeah.
email that we can share.
Yeah, because actually what I'm reading here is that it says the applicant may substitute other house styles as market conditions demand, which that sounds different than what we're saying here.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so that should be substituted with other house styles as market conditions demand, as long as they, so provided they are similar design with the approved house styles is how we finish that up, but we could say, provided they are architecturally consistent with the approved house styles.
All right, I don't have that in front of me. All right.
Why don't we change the word substitute to
The applicant may,
what, I don't know.
may modify?
Right.
May modify the layout
May modify the house styles as market, just change it to that.
as market or
Substitute
plot,
sounds
as
either-
market or plot,
The whole
right?
change.
As market or plot, right? All right.
Is market conditions demand provided that they are similar in design to the original approved house styles.
Single house styles,
Single families.
single
Original.
family.
Single-family house styles,
All right,
yeah.
okay. All right. All right. So I'll make a motion for the modification of the comprehensive permit under General Law, Chapter 40B, Sections 20 to 23 for the Lakeland Hills LLC, 2017-11, that the applicant may modify may modify the layout.
How about modify house styles? I'm not saying the layout
Right.
may not change.
May modify house styles. Not, okay,
Try that, see if you like that.
okay, just the way it is, okay. The applicant may modify house styles as market conditions or plot demand, provided that they are similar in design to the original approved single-family house style. That sound good?
Okay,
I think that
yeah,
works.
thank you.
Yeah. I just need a second.
Is there a second, Josephine?
I second it.
Any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thanks.
Was there
You
something?
could have built the house in that time.
Yeah. Yeah, was something here?
Yeah, we're
Doing something here?
We did that one.
Oh, you did, you able to do
You
that?
did that one.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
have a good evening.
Okay.
Thank you, take care.
Okay. So I do apologize for being late, work mess.
I'm glad you called them, we knew, that's why we were.
Yeah, well, I don't have anyone.
Email, so just.
I know, I'm glad you looked at your email.
Oh, yeah, I always
Let us
do.
know, because
Yeah.
that's why we started with things. We said,
Okay, but it's not what I like to do.
No, I know.
apologize. No,
I understand. I'm just happy you let us know,
Okay,
because we
yeah.
could play around
Yeah, I
it.
don't have a hot cell phone number to call. I guess we should trade cell phone.
We should do that.
Okay.
We'll do it.
just if you want to call me, for example.
I just want to review it.
All right, so we're gonna, well, we can approve the minutes. We have 3 here.
Yep, yeah, I did review them too.
I did too.
Yeah,
I thought they looked
They
good.
look fine to me.
Yeah.
So do we have the minutes that you want me to sign? Okay.
You want to make a motion to
I
approve?
just want, I need the, which one am I
Is there a
signing?
motion to approve the minutes of April 19th, 2023?
Yes, there is.
Is there a second?
I seconded.
Oh, that way?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 There's 3.
Okay, thank you.
And then, while you're signing that,
Yep.
new and old business. So, looks like there's 2 terms set to expire in June, myself and Courtney. My intention is to go back to the select board and seek reappointment to this board, and then we can discuss internally as the makeup of the board. My intention is not to seek chair seat. I'd like to stay on in any capacity, other than that, just because of some conflicts and things like that. But we can discuss that further,
Right.
and I don't speak for Courtney, but we'll find out what her intentions are.
Sure.
Huh?
We've already talked, so.
Okay,
He might be willing to be vice chair, though, so.
okay, that'd be fine. I
Kind of
appreciate that.
flip-flop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that unless I'm retired, maybe I wouldn't be able to do the things that you guys have to do in prep. Okay.
Would Courtney be able to renew as a full member?
Is there room for her to come in full?
You're full member.
We already have a full member
Okay.
Yeah.
with Chris.
Yeah, I had mentioned, that, obviously, when we talk about realigning the boards, we could always, we could talk about whether, like, I would move to an associate if necessary.
Yep.
Because we have some new talent on the board I don't want to ignore.
And then remember, we don't have to make all of these decisions.
Right,
We
right.
can do this throughout the year.
Right.
You get your appointments from the select board,
Right.
but we could always, people have
Right.
conflicts or whatever, we're all volunteers
Right.
here.
Yep.
Right.
So don't be shy if someone,
Yeah.
feels, whatever the demands are, or would they like to move up in the board. So, we can bring that up anytime.
Right. Well, first thing, let's get you reappointed to the board.
Right.
Okay.
And then I'll just reach out to Courtney just to check them, assuming she would want to be
Right.
reappointed for next year as an associate member.
Well, she's not here, we can put her name in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, we would like to have her continue.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Whether she becomes a full or stays an associate, one way or the other, we'd like to have her.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you sign on before I did?
I think you came in at the same time,
Pretty
didn't we?
darn close to it. I don't remember if one of us beat the other by a month or something.
Yeah, I had gotten moved up. I got re-upped a while ago. I mean,
Yeah, I
not too
remember
long.
you
Not
got
too long.
re-upped.
Yeah.
Would you want to close the hearing?
Yes, if we're ready to close. Okay.
Is there a motion to close the hearing?
This is now for that, yes. Okay.
for that one's fine.
She cleaned it up?
I make a motion
No.
that we close the meeting for tonight.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
No discussion? Aye. Good night, everyone. Have a nice Memorial Day weekend.
You just need,
Thank you.
no?